what I want to say about that is you're tired of kicking the can down the road, wasting time, then trying stuff yourself. I'll figure it out. I'll do a little bit of this. I'm going to wait until I bring in more clients. I'm going to wait until my following's bigger. I'm going to wait till I lose weight. I'm going to wait for this or wait for that. Listen, we're in May, people. We're going to be halfway through the year. You want to set yourself up so you've got clients and cash coming in this summer, but you can't market your offerings. I don't care how incredible you are. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you have 30 years of experience and 25 certifications. You cannot get away with from your marketing strategies at all anymore. You have to do the approach that I have been teaching using my emotional based sales techniques to where you are genuinely connecting with your ideal client's emotions and compelling them to buy from you. If you're tired of the highlight reel income claims, fake it till you make it, I'm on a private jet, look at me, videos flooding the entire business space, this is your wake up call and this will be refreshing as fuck for you. In this unfiltered, no BS hot take, I'm pulling back the curtain on what's really going on behind the scenes with online businesses and money right now. The stuff that nobody wants to admit, but everybody needs to hear. The truth is, things have shifted. Buyer behavior has changed. What worked last year isn't hitting the same right now. And if you're wondering why your sales are slower, your engagement is down, you're kind of feeling like a little bit of a low-key panic. Maybe you've already spiraled. Maybe you're wondering if it's just you because no one's really saying anything. I want you to know you are not alone. But here's the good news. While most people are consumed with stress and frustration because they were so used to having things work in a certain way, this right now is actually the biggest opportunity to stand out and cash in. I've been here before. I started my first business in 2008, leaving my six-figure corporate job during literally a full economic crash, which in my opinion will never happen again in the state of the world because that's how those financial institutions and banks and mortgages were set up back then, and that's not even allowed now. So my house was upside down. I literally owed more on my house than it was worth, and there were so many other things happening, and people thought I was absolutely crazy for doing it. But when you zag, when everyone else is zigging, that is when millionaires are made. And I'm going to break it down for you straight up Tiff style in this episode. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships, and everything in between. Well, my guess is this is going to irritate quite a few people, especially in the online space, that I'm doing an episode on this, but I have always promised you guys and I've always delivered. I'll share the highs, I'll share the lows, I'll share the shit, and I'll share all the in between. You deserve to know it, and you can't take advantage of something and you can't best strategize for something or even like mentally prepare and manage yourself if you don't know what the fuck is going on. And so here is what is and isn't. And I don't want you to start going down some path, or maybe you already have, where you're like the economy and the fear mongering and like, are people not buying? And I put something out there and I don't feel like people are buying now. And I heard this person talk about this and that person talk about this. And then my uncle's complaining about this. And then my husband's 401k is down. So there's actual proof of things happening. And just look at the stock market, Tiffany. This is not anything new in history. Okay. And you can ask someone else who has been on this earth long enough, someone who's been on this earth perhaps longer than me. But my old ass has been here long enough to tell you that millionaires are made during periods like this because people take their foot off the gas, and people who have kind of been used to having things easily happen for them, they can't handle when they actually need to show up and dig in more and provide more value and connection and trust with their community and with their clients because they got so conditioned to not really having to do much and having it work. And then those people just combust. They're not able able to do it. They're not able to resurrect. And then everything gets cleared out. And this happens in every industry. So even though I don't look like it here on ProjectME TV right now, but I recently got my hair did, okay, like the full 3.5 hour experience where I got my, my weave moved up and the color and the whole thing. And I have two different hairstylists that I've had for a long time. And my one main stylist, we go way back. All right. Like I think it's even more than 10 years. And she is a hustler. Like she's a 6-figure hairstylist. Okay. Like she knows how to run her business. And we were talking about like all that's going on. And she said, my books are low. And I go, how low? She goes, I'd say about 30% lower. And I, of course, dug in as Coach Tiff does. And I was like, would you say that you've lost clients or they're just extending how long in between, they're coming in to see you? She would say, I would say they're extending it. And then there's some people who maybe are going to try a few times to, DIY their hair and then end up texting me in a panic that they look crazy or that their hair fell out. And then they're going to end up spending more money with me fixing it and course correcting what happened. And I go, are you worried? And she's like, well, not really. She goes, the people who are worried in here are the people who have not truly established great relationships with their clients or who kind of had it easy and were relying on like walk-ins or relying on word of mouth, and they've not really created a brand around themselves. And I was like, exactly. So you're seeing people, and this happened in real estate. So my realtors listening will absolutely agree, or anyone who's in like the mortgage loan world will also agree. There are hotspot times in history, and we've had a couple in the last, few decades, and we just came off one. I mean, there was no realtor in Arizona that pretty much wasn't making money and selling houses during the pandemic because so many people were moving there. Same with Texas with like the Austin boom. We're like homes in Austin and even in like places in Arizona were more than homes that have a full ocean view in LA. Like it was preposterous. And then very quickly they saw it tank, because then the pandemic was over. Then the people who moved there were like, I don't know if I really want to live here. Then people stopped moving out of the places. Then the interest rates went up. And so people are like, oh, maybe it's not a time to list the house. Maybe it's not a time to buy. And the realtors who are still successful and not panicking are the ones who have developed an actual brand. They've nurtured and connected with their people, and they don't mind having to do a little extra in terms of touch points and marketing in order to get the sale. Like that muscle isn't atrophied. They have that muscle that is developed. It's like riding a bike. The people who have fallen off are the people who were in it to get rich quick. They wanted to get in. Oh my God, it was easy. They've never experienced hard. So it's shocking for people. So some of you listening have had it easy for quite a while where you could sell some wild shit like, I realign your frequencies using my magical matrix system. And I love you, but like that shit ain't selling now, okay? And that shit wasn't really like an amazing plan before, but you could get away with doing that kind of fantasy marketing. And in the online space, especially if you're doing like education, like courses, consulting, coaching, you're doing healing work, trauma-informed work, business coaching, social media stuff, anything in that scope, which is a lot. And I'm going to get into some stats and facts to prove to you that now is literally the best time to double down on your existing business or start a business monetizing your gifts, skills, passions, and talents online. Like it is now. You want to zag when everyone else zigs. Right now, for example, I'm buying up stocks. I am buying up stocks when they're at a low, honey. And I get it. You have to have that cash available to do it. But that doesn't mean it's not uncomfortable, right? Like you don't really want to spend big amounts of cash if you don't have the same amount of cash coming in, but you're playing the long game. It might feel temporarily, even seem illogical to some people who don't get it, like non-business people, to start a business or invest in growing your business right now because people are saying wackadoo stuff like, oh, look at how wacky the economy is and people aren't buying. You know what? Let me get into the facts now, okay? Because the only notes I have for this episode are I wanted to make sure I gave you the facts properly. In 2024, the online education and coaching market, $68 billion. 2025, it is still projected to reach $83 billion. That's a 22% increase. It is not decreasing, people. Let's go a step further, shall we? Online education, digital products, and courses are predicted to reach $185 billion by 2029. And if we just carve out like the courses alone, $49.87 billion by 2027. This is not slowing down. People are actually turning to online education and courses and development and service offerings more than they are with like in-person services or whatever we want to call as traditional services, because you get a lot more for your money. It is a lower investment point and you do get a much greater return, and you don't even have to leave your house for it. And people are smart enough to know the overhead is so low when you're working with someone who has an agency, a business, a healing center, even if it's a solopreneur, someone who has an area of expertise, or, certified healthcare professional. I mean, look at all of the online access to medical care in the United States and Canada right now. It is absolutely booming. So it's not that people aren't spending. People are actually spending more right now than in Q1 of 2024. And I have the stats straight from the biggest credit card company in the world, MasterCard, that I pulled for this to prove that to you. So you know it's not from Tiffany's ass. From my ass. MasterCard has reported Q1 of 2025 a 9% year over year increase in spending. What has changed is how people are spending, the psychology of how people are spending. More people are wanting to buy services and products online. That is also being backed up by the facts that I shared with you. So if you're going, well, I sell stuff online and I don't feel like people are joining my programs or even coming to my free stuff as much, it's because what has shifted is people are sick of the fake. They've been duped enough. They're exhausted from what's going on with the government shit in all countries, okay? Like this show's top 5 in 57 countries. All countries have wackadoo stuff going on right now. So people are tired of it. People are more awake to it. People are truly have like PTSD, quite frankly, from the pandemic, don't want to put up with it, are standing up or showing up, and they've had enough. And so your basic ass vanilla shit, the fantasy marketing stuff, this is not going to work for people anymore. They have higher standards, higher boundaries, as they should. This is why I'm not concerned. I'm not saying I haven't noticed, okay? Like I've noticed. I was like, interesting. There's definitely a shift. It's taking people a beat longer to make a decision to hire someone, to buy from someone, to work with someone. Okay. And especially if you are in the online, education, consulting, you're offering some kind of a service, you're trading, your expertise and time for money, that kind of a thing. Even when we're looking at stuff like retreats and stuff like that, that is around a certain experience, people are like, oh, well, I don't have as many people buying. Well, have you increased your amount of touch points with your ideal client? Have you made any adjustments to deepen your connection, to build more trust faster with your ideal client? Because that's what's required now. Now, my brand, I'm pretty solid because some of you OGs, shout out to my OGs who've been around since this show came out, with no social media, by the way. I started the podcast with nothing driving to it. All right. So I'm more of a grower, not a shower over here. But last time I checked, it's worked out well for me. I came into this market finally after 10 years of excuses and thinking, oh, who's going to listen to me? I don't look like this person or that person. I found the hole in the market is I saw how many people were out there selling business expertise, money experts, social media, digital marketing. And I knew what they were saying was bullshit because I already have an 8-figure digital marketing agency and I'm an entrepreneur that's successful. successful and I'm surrounded by them constantly. I'm an award-winning salesperson. Like I knew what they were saying wasn't true or they weren't giving the whole picture because they wanted you to buy their stuff. And I was furious because what I know would happen is you buy their stuff, it doesn't work for you. And then it's like, oh, maybe it's me it's not working for, and then you'd quit. And I was like, well, then I need to come in and be an industry disruptor and be willing to share all the stuff. And what happens is, just so you know, when you're someone who operates at this level of like, I guess you could call it like insane honesty or integrity, because I don't sell in that way, I do watch a lot of people buy from the people who are doing the fantasy marketing with the promises, oh, you don't really have to do much and you're going to make all this money. Now, listen, I'm all about working less and making more. And we strategically do all of that in both of my main programs. So right now, there are two ways to work with me directly. One is the Holy Grail top tier, and I'm about to close those applications. So if you want to work with me and get to where you want to go the fastest and have everything customized, I'm talking the naming of your program, the messaging of your program, an exact profitable content strategy, knowing exactly what to say on video in order to compel people to buy from you. You want to be able to have a customer acquisition strategy and be able to build trust with them quickly. So in just one video, people are buying for you, or one email, people are buying from you, regardless of the size of your audience, regardless if you're starting from zero or you're highly established. That would be my exclusive 2-month private business coaching program. So I only take a max of 4 people at a time. It is by application only to make sure that this is a great fit. It's the same application, whether you're brand new or you're established, just for ease of use. So you can swipe up. The app is right inside the show notes or here in the description on YouTube on ProjectME TV. And what I want to say about that is you're tired of kicking the can down the road, wasting time, then trying stuff yourself. I'll figure it out. I'll do a little bit of this. You're tired of always having a story of why you're waiting. I'm going to wait until I bring in more clients. I'm going to wait until my following's bigger. I'm going to wait till I lose weight. I'm going to wait for this. I'll wait for that. And listen, we're in May, people. We're in the 5th month of the year and it was just January. We're going to be halfway through the year. You want to set yourself up so you've got clients and cash coming in this summer, because I want you to have a rich babe summer. I don't want you to have a broke ass summer. We are not available for that life, especially in 2025. Okay. Like we need to get the abundance flowing and resurrecting, but you can't market your offerings. I don't care how incredible you are. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you have 30 years of experience and 25 certifications. I don't care if you have had multiple 7-figure years over and over and over again before. You cannot get away with from your ass marketing strategies at all anymore. It's just not going to work. You're not going to be able to get away with it. You have to do the approach that I have been teaching literally for over 15 years, using my emotional based sales techniques to where you are genuinely connecting with your ideal client's emotions and compelling them to buy from you. Notice I said compel and not convince. It's very different. People can feel that difference. The people are awake now. They weren't awake for a while. Now, some people are still asleep. Okay, well, those are likely not our people. Those people blow my mind when I see them. I'm like, wow. I'm like, this person, I don't know. They're living in like some kind of weird delusional land and not in a good way. So with my private coaching program, you're going to get there the fastest, but you also obviously have more of an investment in order to get there. I'm not priced egregiously. I don't teach that. Okay. But like my ass ain't cheap either, nor should it be, because the results you get are going to match what you put into it. All right. So you can apply for that. The other option is my group coaching program, the ProjectME Posse. Now, what is so amazing about that is I have transferred all of my knowledge, my skill sets, what I know work in order to be able to teach it to you in a simple, straightforward fashion so you don't get overwhelmed. And that's designed for people going from like 0 to 15K a month consistently in your business. So if most of your business right now is happening through in-person stuff, not so much stuff online, and you're wanting to generate leads, clients, cash on the interwebs through digital marketing so that you have little salespeople selling for you all through the night, 24/7, so that you can be free to do other things. And you want to have multiple revenue streams so that they all start adding up. You're making 700 here, 7,000 here, 600 here, 200 here a month. Then it all adds up and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And now you have a diversified revenue stream for your business where it is not all dependent on your time for money. I'm not saying not to sell your time for money. Okay. My private coaching, my time is in there. It's just the value of my time drastically increases over time, right? Like I regularly raise my prices. So inside the posse, you're able to get group coaching weekly live from me and other special guest experts. And this is going to like shook at you. It's $100 a month. It's $3.33 a day. You do the annual option is $9.97 and you get 2 months for free. It ends up being $2.22 a day. That's why it's the most popular option. And then you also get my Nail Your Niche Masterclass and my Content Creation Made Easy course bundle, which includes my content planner and all of that. So you can go to projectmewithtiffany.com/projectmeposse, projectmewithtiffany.com/projectmeposse. And if you are torn on which one to do, I would have you ask yourself the question of, how fast do I want to get to my results? And I don't mean like a get rich quick fast, but how much time have you already wasted and how much do you want to speed up the process? You know, do you want the ultimate shortcut where you are getting the straight road there? Or do you want to take the windy, slower road? Both will end up getting you there. One's going to get you there faster with less stress and more revenue along the way. And the other one is just going to take longer. And I have a lot of people who end up doing both. My point is, you need to make a move either way. If you don't make a move, you are going to miss this incredible window we have going on right now. And it's the same thing that's going on in real estate. One of my best friends from high school is like top tier realtor, 1% in the nation, year over year, Melissa Tucci. I have 2 episodes with her. Okay. I can vouch for everything that she says. I've watched her build this thing. She's not concerned, people. She is not concerned because she's going to continue to do the reps and show up for her people because she actually gives a shit about her people. She's not just in it for a quick hit for money. Yeah, she likes money. I love money. But like, I'm in it for something deeper than this. And I want to connect with you guys. I want to get to know you better. No one would have the membership I have if it was just about money. Think about that. Weekly live group coaching for $100 a month. No one offers that. And in fact, every single coach that I've worked with, except for one, all told me, you are insane. Do not do that. That's terrible. Well, I've been running that membership now, 4.5 years with great success, and it averages $500,000 a year. With me putting in, I would say at the most 6 hours of effort and time a month. I mean, I have a membership director now in there that helps me, but even let's say I didn't. Okay, fine. 12 hours a month maximum. Would you work 12 hours a month for $500,000 a year? You tell me. And that leads me to my next point. It's not even a point. It's a fucking story. And I promised myself this was going to be a short episode, so I'm doing the best that I can. Let me recap really quick of what I want to make sure hits home for you. What is required now for you to have people buying is more depth, more transparency. I know you're a sincere, good person, or you wouldn't be into my show. You wouldn't be attracted to me. But I also know you have a fear of visibility, a fear of being fully seen. And when you show up online, whether it's in writing or in video, it's not connecting with your audience in that way. You're not letting them in enough. And I don't mean you have to show everything in your life, but you're not letting them in enough to where the trust is built fast enough and deep enough for them to feel safe right now to buy from you. And there is an actual strategy to that. And if you don't do that, you are going to continue to see the law of diminishing returns. You are not going to make money, or you're going to see your revenue continue to go down because people just don't have the palate for it. My guess is you don't either. You don't want to see one more video of someone bouncing around on a beach claiming that they don't work at all. I'm not saying you can't have passive income that pays you. I have over 17 streams, if not more, of passive income. I could shut down ProjectME and just live off my passive income at this point. But I've built that up over the years. You have to put in upfront effort. It's like if you had a book, you have to write the damn book, have an editor, have the cover. Okay. So you have got that. The book's not going to sell if you don't talk about the book and market the book. So you've got to do that. But yeah, you get to make money off of that one item, that one book, that one course, that one program, that one membership for years and years and decades to come once you've done that upfront effort. So it's upfront effort, and you don't want to lose your mind. You need to invest in working with someone like me. Okay. Otherwise, the upfront effort ends up being like 5 years and you'll end up quitting. So upfront effort so that you have decades to come, you're collecting off it. This is not anything new in the sense of being someone who actually has wealth freedom. Think of people who have a bunch of income properties. They start with one, then they add one, then they diversify, and then it's all stressful and janky up front. And then they have to learn expensive lessons. But then if they had just hired someone who, showed them the ropes, which some people are blessed, they have a family member or something who knows the ropes, but they show them the ropes, you've shaved off the time, you can make money and you don't have all the expensive lessons. And now you have revenue coming in from this rental property, that rental property. This is what we're doing, but with digital products, which the barrier to entry is a joke. It is so low to get into. So I had a incredible call, which is shocking to say, with my CPA firm. So my accountants, no one usually expects to have like an incredible call with them. I was actually kind of dreading it. I was like, if they freaking tell me I owe any more money for 2024, I don't know what I will do with myself, because I got whack-a-dude. Okay. I pay monthly and sometimes weekly taxes already. Okay, I don't play any games with it. I'm smart, but there's no games played. I don't want to like owe some insane amount at the end of the year. So I thought at the most, and I know this number is going to sound wild to some of you, okay? It would have sounded wild to me even 8 years ago. I would have been like, what? But like 65,000 at the most. I was like, I still owed. Keep in mind, okay, I've already paid like 400 or something $1,000 in taxes. Yes, I'm being serious. These are rich people problems. And I got hit. It was like 190 or 210. I don't even know. It was something ridiculous. And I was like, holy fuck. That did not feel good. That tested everything that I have to teach you guys around manifestation and money mindset. I mean, I was abundant walking until my feet hurt every day. Okay. I was doing the abundance baths, the abundance showers. I was like, this ain't cute. And so we were having a follow-up meeting to that because I was like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, I know so many other people who have businesses of all different kinds and different industries. And I also coach a lot of people from all different industries, and I see what they're making, and they paid much less in taxes. And I go, are people doing a lot of illegal activities, or is there some kind of tax plan I'm missing? Do I need to move out of California? Like, what the hell is going on? And bottom line, what came out of it was a lesson that if I was taught this, oh my God, if I was taught this all those 10 years that I was avoiding starting the podcast and coming online and coming up with excuses, it would have made me start it immediately. So I hope this does that for you, or it reinvigorates you, or has you doubling down or tripling down in the online space. And I know you could think that's self-serving because like that's what you pay me for. Think what you want. Like, listen, I'm not like thirsty over you paying me $100 a month for the posse. Okay. It's like, I want you in there because the shit works. Like ultimately, like you being a private client, I can only take 4 of you at a time. So, you get where I'm coming with it. So my accountants on my team started clapping after I like vented all of this out. And I was like, why are you clapping? I go, because I was being like theatrical and dramatic. They're like, we were going to actually open this meeting and let you know that if there was an award for the highest profit margin of any of our clients, this is the largest CPA firm in Southern California, mind you, you would win the award. And I go, what? And they're like, yes, you would win the award. The reason you paid more in taxes than someone who has even a $10 million business, a $15 million business, is because your profit margins, if you had a scale, you are three times off the scale in terms of those margins because of the nature of your business. And I go, well, give me some context. So they said, all right, in general, if you had an accounting firm, all right, so their accounting firm, and think about an accounting firm, right? They have all like, they understand all the tax stuff, so they have an advantage. They said at the most, it's a 20% profit margin, which is considered fabulous, right? Like it's very impressive. Healthcare, 12.6%. Grocery stores, and I'm talking the big chains, 1 to 2%. Now, software gets a little better. Software is at 25%, right? It is a digital product, but you have to have a lot of overhead in order to develop that software. You want to know what online education, online consulting services, service-based businesses, online courses, all of that? It is 70 to 90% when you're starting out smaller. Okay. I'm at 50%, which is considered insane. Think about that. A software business is at 25%, an accounting business at 20. Grocery stores 1 to 2%. Retail is 4%, like a clothing store. And I'm at 50%. So when you first start out a business, right, like if it's just you and you're paying for like, you know, making sure you have your Zoom app paid for, or you're paying for like your WordPress, or you know, like you're paying for like CapCut, stuff like that. Those are your expenses, and maybe you're hiring a graphics person or someone off Upwork here and there. Your profit margins are higher because you're smaller, right? But like you grow into a multiple seven figure business like mine, that is going to drop because you're obviously growing and you have people who work for you and you start doing ads and stuff. Even with all of that, I'm at a 50% profit margin. So therefore, I make so much money. I make more money than a $10 million business. So I have to pay more taxes on it. So if that wasn't explained to me, I was infuriated. What a perspective shift. And my point in sharing this story to all of you is that this is the business to get in for real business reasons. And on top of it, when you really study it, people who have high level branding like iPhones, Apple, okay? You have, you know, ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. You have a Nike. You have an Aloe versus generic brands. Like you don't go buy your lettuce based on a brand, was their example. Even gas for that matter. Most people don't. They look for more of price shopping when it comes to that. But when you establish a brand and a brand identity and a brand that people trust and connect to, that's when people buy from you over and over again, and your profit margin drastically increases. So there's also that factor when you have an online business, because naturally you need to be the face, or someone needs to be the face of that business, which in turn gets you more business, gets you more repeat buyers, and therefore increases your profit margins. If this episode didn't put you in a spot to go, oh my God, I'm in so much abundance, I needed to hear this, I'm going all in, I'm not taking my foot off the gas. Your nervous system was likely looking for a reason to take your foot off the gas. Your nervous system was likely looking for a reason to quit, a reason why it won't work, a reason why, you know, all your self-doubt inner bully was correct because that feels safer to you. You have a choice to do that, or you can make the choice of, you know what, I'm going to feel this fear and feel this discomfort, and I'm going to do it anyway because I want what's on the other side. And the facts are proof. The evidence I share on this show, the evidence I share in Instagram and TikTok at Project Me with Tiffany, the evidence I share in my emails if you're on my Secret Posse Weekly Digest email community. That's also, you swipe up, all the things that I talked about today are inside of the show notes and in the description here on YouTube on Project Me TV. If you are not going, oh my God, it'd be crazy for me to not develop an online revenue stream based on what was just talked about here, and actual business facts, where Tiffany has the largest accounting firm in Southern California clapping for her. And here I was thinking I was getting robbed. But this isn't going to be like this forever. You have an extra sweet spot right now where all these people who are now in their head and upset that they actually now really have to work and they actually have to take more time and care and attention to really develop relationships with their audience and develop community. And they were just looking for like a quick hit of cash and they were really in it for that. Now, this space, this noisy space in all different industries is getting cleared out. And who's going to be left standing? It's going to be the people like me. It's going to be the people like you. So, do you want to be standing in the arena? Do you want to be the person? Or do you want to be watching from the sidelines, wishing you went all in now? The cost to entry is not very high. The cost to entry on any other business is literally 100 times higher. You know what you need to do. I'd be honored if you do it with me. I know the way. I've got you. We make it fun. We make it simple. We make it straightforward. And we get that bag, baby. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you.